Hey guys, and welcome to the video. We're going to be discussing the early Rotten Tomatoes review scores and comments from critics about the Godzilla show, Monarch Legacy of Monsters. So let's dive into this kaiju news. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and stay up to date with all the movie and streaming news going on around here, guys. So guys, we're going to take a look at this article here from comicbookmovie.com. We're going to read into this article a little bit, and then we're going to hop over to Rotten Tomatoes and read some of the reviews from critics about Monarch Legacy of Monsters. So, Monarch Legacy of Monsters debuts with a fresh 92% on Rotten Tomatoes as first reviews surface. Yeah, guys, so this is really positive. This is what I've been saying in all my other, Monarch Legacy of Monster videos that I've been making. The Apple TV Plus are just top notch when it comes to quality of their streaming shows, and it looks like this is set to continue that trend with a 92%. That means for every 10 people that reviewed it, 9 out of 10 liked the show, which is really super positive. I cannot wait to see this myself. But anyway, guys, so following the release of the epic new trailer at New York Comic Con on Friday. By the way, guys, I did do a breakdown of the new trailer. I'll post the little link up here above in the corner if you want to click over that and you want to have a little breakdown of the trailer. Go over and have a look at that, guys, if you're interested. So, Monarch Legacy of Monsters has hit Rotten Tomatoes as the best reviewed MonsterVerse story to date. Read on for details. Absolutely, that's what we're going to do. So let's see if we can learn a little bit more about what's going on with the reviews and, why they're so high. So the review embargo for Monarch Legacy of Monsters lifted on Friday, around the same time as the thrilling new trailer was released. But how was the MonsterVerse's first TV series faring with critics? Yeah, guys, so I apologize, I'm a little bit late to the game with this. I've been working really hard on my channel, finding lots of interesting content for you guys, and I kind of just missed this one by accident, but I'm bringing it to you now. Hopefully you guys find this interesting. So while only a handful of verdicts have been counted thus far, the show holds an impressive 92% on the review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes. Super impressive, guys. And I'll just go back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video. Apple TV Plus, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Apple TV Plus, I really recommend hopping onto their service. Their shows are just second to none when it comes to quality, and their shows are just incredible. And it looks like Godzilla here with 92%. Looks like it's another one in the bag for them. So, as we first explained on sffgazette.com, critics were given access to half of the season, 5 episodes. So there's 10 episodes in the season, guys, which is great because, it sucks having to deal with these series where we're only getting 6 episodes or 7 episodes, but we're getting a whole 10 episode series, which is great. So they arguably had enough to form a solid impression of whether the series works out or not. It sounds like Kurt Russell was the highlight, but many reviews caution that Godzilla's role is limited at best. In fact, while monsters may be in the title, it's the mystery surrounding Monarch that both sounds like the focus and the highlight. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprised, guys, because come to think of it, a lot of the marketing that I've seen in the trailers and promotional artwork seems to harken back to the 2014 Godzilla, and it seems like they're using a lot of the footage from the 2014 Godzilla movie. Whether it's whether it's cutting room floor footage that wasn't used in the movie or direct footage from the actual movie itself, it looks like they're using that as a way to cut down on the budget, because obviously, doing the CGI for these huge titans on screen is no cheap thing to do. And it looks like they're trying to save a bit of money with using, that footage for the 2014 Godzilla movie. And it's fair enough. They're cutting the budget. That's exactly what they need to do. At the end of the day, they're a business. They're all about making money. So I get that. But to hear that the monsters kind of take a back seat, a little bit disappointing to hear that. Still really excited to see the show. But at 92%, man, woohoo, super excited. So fans of these movies have often criticized the human component. So if Legendary has finally got that right, it's certainly not a bad thing. However, anyone going into Monarch Legacy of Monsters expecting or excited about seeing heaps of epic monster action on screen could walk away underwhelmed. Yeah, but to be honest, we've kind of come to expect that from the MonsterVerse. It's been a common sort of complaint from a lot of, fans going through the MonsterVerse movies that, the movies focus too much on the human counterparts rather than the actual titans themselves. We get that, but having a whole movie, with too much titans, the budget's going to balloon. But not only that, you need to ground the story in a human element so that the audiences can kind of relate to it a little bit. That's kind of my opinion on it anyway, guys. So check out the show's tomato meter reveal and check here soon for the verdict. Yeah, guys, so here, obviously this was when this article was first posted. Here is a 90% tomatoes review, but obviously it's up to 92% now. But anyway, guys, we're going to hop over to the Rotten Tomatoes website now, and we're going to read through some of the critic reviews, and we're going to see what they're saying about the show. So, landing over here on Rotten Tomatoes, as you can see, Season 1, Monarch Legacy of Monsters, 92% from 13 reviews. So, it's only 13 reviewers at the moment that have left their scores. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more reviews to come in. So, this number of 92% here, it could go up, it could go down. Obviously, it started at 90% and it's risen to 92. So, it could go up. I really, really hope it does because I absolutely love the Monsterverse and I really want it to do well. I want people to review this really, really well, and I want it to spur on, a possible second season, and we want more Monsterverse movies as well. So let's have a look at some of the reviews from critics down below and let's see what they have to say. So this comes from John Nugent from Empire Magazine, top critic. Not quite the Monsterverse's high point, but far from its low point either, with some satisfying long-form world building and hugely enjoyable dual performance from Kurt and Wyatt Russell. And then we've got Charles Pulliam Moore from The Verge. Monarch Legacy of Monsters, focused on individual people spurred to action by the emergence of Godzilla and his fellow titans, is exactly what makes the show a surprise delight. One that feels like it has the potential to be both a proper hit for Apple. Absolutely, absolutely. So that's great. That's great to hear. It's good to hear that, even though it's based in the human element and maybe the humans take the forefront of the series, I don't mind that as long as it's done well and the script is done well and the characters are compelling. If it's grounded in a human story, I don't mind that. So this comes from Rodriguez Perez from the playlist. Monarch Legacy of Monsters understands the TV medium is the message, effectively marrying action, scale, and mystery to the needs and demands of small screen human drama. Yeah, so it sounds like here from what he was saying that they've adapted it from the big screen, onto the streaming series, and they've kind of managed to get a good formula together where they can actually effectively make the Monsterverse work in a streaming show, which is cool to hear. And guys, we've got our first rotten review here from Alex Mady, Joe Blow's Movie Network. As an expansion of the Monsterverse franchise, Monarch Legacy of Monsters is ambitious and looks great on screen, but the first batch of episodes fails to capitalize on the potential of this epic story. So yeah, that's someone who, wasn't so satisfied with the first 5 episodes that he had access to. Maybe he thought it was too slow, or that it didn't feature the monsters enough, or, just maybe it was a slow burn for him. And that's fair enough. Movies are subjective. So Janine T. Abraham from Visible Black Woman Medium, whatever that is. I'm not sure what that is. If you're coming to this series expecting to see lots of giant monsters battle, like I was, you'll be mightily disappointed because this is a character-driven story. The pilot episode is fantastic. Yeah, guys, so for those of us who obviously haven't seen it yet, just, be aware that even though it's a Monsterverse movie, show, bear in mind that it's going to be more revolving around the human element rather than monsters fighting each other. So just go into it, with that kind of mindset, and we should be okay. So we've got Luke Y. Thompson from Superhero Hype. It's a setup that satisfies the first rule of a good genre entertainment: establish character stakes that would work in any kind of story. So yeah, this is what I'm saying, guys. It sounds like people are talking about the human element and the characters that are in the movie, the human characters, which is good because having monsters on screen fighting each other is great, but it just becomes visual noise. If there's no meaning to it and the actual human characters are just pointless, just there just to kind of, forward the plot, then there's no point. But if it looks like the human element to the series is good, then, it should be good to see the human element. So this comes from Evan Dussey, Midwest Film Journal. For a live-action Godzilla show, it consciously tries its damnedest to capture the franchise's different flavors of human storytelling. And that level of thoroughness is creative philosophy and is very admirable. Yeah, guys, so it's another person talking about the human element. So this is what we're getting a lot of, it seems, at the moment, talking about the human element within the series. And it says here, thoroughness is creative philosophy is very admirable. Yeah, guys, so that's great. So it seems like the human element is really, really sticking out for a lot of people here. So Zach Pope from Zach Pope Reviews. Monarch Legacy of Monsters is an incredible epic show that only dives deeper into Godzilla lore and Monarch itself, but where it really wins is showcase the ground level of how humans are dealing with all of this in their world. Yeah, this is kind of what I wanted to dive into, and this is kind of what I'm interested in seeing. Imagine if you're a human that actually exists in this world. How do you go about your daily life with these titans kind of, roaming around on planet Earth? And, what do you do when they appear, and like the aftermath of them destroying your city? And, how do people live their lives with this kind of, threat constantly, rearing its head, so to speak? So guys, we'll read a few more here. This comes from Megan Peters, comicbook.com. At its core, the live-action series is about families, legacies, and the uncertainties of the future. When the world wrestles with Godzilla, each person wrestles with themselves, and the series makes it clear despite modeled pacing. Yeah, so more about the human element, about people kind of dealing with their lives as, the Titans kind of appear and disappear around the planet, which is kind of cool. Tessa Smith from Mama's Geeky. All too often, these types of films and series lack an intriguing human story with heart and suspense. Monarch Legacy of Monsters nails this aspect, and also nails the visually stunning and terrifying Titans. Again, guys, so we just keep coming back to this human story, and the human element has heart and suspense. That's great to hear. And then we got Chris Evangelista from Slash Film. Even if there's not much Godzilla to go around, at least we have Kurt Russell. Guys, bear in mind as well, even though they're saying that the human element is more prevalent than the actual Titans on screen, be aware that these critics only had access to the first 5 episodes of the 10-episode series. So the next 5 episodes that they haven't yet seen, maybe the Titans appear a lot more in the next 5 episodes. We just don't know because they're only reviewing the first 5 episodes. So just bear that in mind, guys. So Daniel Dockery from Polygon. By taking Godzilla's mood and its grasp of monsters as awe-inspiring and something horrifying, spectacle, and blending it with the human component, we get a true link that Monsterverse desperately needed. Yeah, so it seems that the show is just shining in the aspects that the movies haven't been. Going back to the human element, I know we keep repeating this, guys, but these reviews all seem to be talking about, the human element on screen is great, the CGI looks great, even though the monsters take a bit of a backseat, the human element is good, and that's kind of what we need in these Monsterverse projects. And do we have any more? I think that may have been... Oh, we got one more. So we read 12. We got one more here. So Chase Hutchinson from Collider. There aren't many purely great things in life, but Kurt Russell saying, "Dinner time, you son of a bitch," while doing battle with an enormous monster emerging from beneath the earth is certainly one of them. That actually sounds like a money shot. That sounds really good. "Dinner time, you son of a bitch." I'm not sure. Obviously, we don't know what that line means out of context. But when we watch the show and we hear that line and we see him doing battle with an enormous monster, I'm sure that's going to be a great scene, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, guys, so that's where we are. Out of all of these reviews here, these 13 reviews, we've got one person, Alex Mady from Joblo, who left I wouldn't even say it's a negative score. I mean, he's given it a 6 out of 10. And obviously a 5 out of 10 would be average on a score. So he likes it a little bit more than average. Other than that, every single other person has given it a positive score, and this bodes well for this series, which I was super, super nervous to hear about the reviews. I was hoping that they were going to be good, and it looks like they are, guys. So time to get excited for when this show comes out. But anyway, guys, let's hop back to the article and just finish off the video. So jumping back to the article here, guys. Following the thunderous battle between Godzilla and Titans that leveled San Francisco, the shocking revelation that monsters are real, reads the synopsis. Monarch Legacy of Monsters tracks 2 siblings following in their father's footsteps to uncover their family's connection to a secret organization known as Monarch. Clues lead them into a world of monsters and ultimately down the rabbit hole of Army Officer Lee Shaw, taking place in the 1950s and half a century later, where Monarch is threatened by what Shaw knows. And then, guys, based on Monsterverse from Legendary, and then we've got the cast and crew here. If you want to read the names here, guys, I'm not going to try and butcher these names. This dramatic saga, spanning 3 generations, reveals buried secrets and the ways that epic, earth-shattering events can reverberate through our lives. Monarch Legacy of Monsters premieres November 17th on Apple TV+. Will you be tuning in? That's a very good question. So, guys, if you're interested at all in this series, and it seems like, based on these reviews, how can you not be interested? November 17th, Apple TV+. Trust me, not for just this show, guys, but all the other content that Apple TV Plus has. Their content is top-notch. I really do recommend. Of all the streaming services you want to spend your money on, Apple TV Plus has to be near the top. But yeah, guys, so that's kind of where we are. 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Absolutely incredible score. So excited. It's got me even more hyped to watch this TV show. So, guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Has this gotten you more excited to watch Monarch Legacy of Monsters? And will you get an Apple TV Plus to go and watch it? It definitely seems like it's worth it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Can't wait to see your comments, and I will see you soon.